Hello everyone, and welcome to our presentation. Today the Dewey duo will be talking about our strategic plan. First, let's give you a brief overview of what all is included in our strategic plan. Essentially, our organization is an older college with a well-established library that has a vibrant student. The organizational structure of our library consists of a traditional hierarchy, a director. In order to reflect these upcoming changes, the library's mission statement will be updated. This university, the strategic planning team will consist of the managers from each of the library's departments, the assistant director.
When we surveyed the environment for our academic library and archive, we looked at a few growing trends, and these growing trends include makerspaces, 3D printers, and high-level equipment for patron use. Now, in regards to makerspaces, we gave the example of the Tech Central Makerspace at the Cleveland Public Library. It includes such advanced features as laser engraving and cutting, along with vinyl printing, cutting, a heat press, even photography, videography, and graphic design tools. Now, we also listed 3D printers and scanners as a way we can advance our archive. And we gave the example of the D.H. Hill and Hunt Library on the campus of North Carolina State University. So this allows patrons to self-digitize everyday objects, and it can be used to create interactive objects, and it really helps in engaging our audience in order to get them more involved in the library. So for our first strategic initiative, we decided upon the creation of a digitization department. Our academic library does not yet have a digitization department, and we wanted to move our archive into the 21st century by doing this. And in order to accomplish this, one of the goals was to hire digitization specialists to conduct this type of work. Along those same lines, we also want to work on the implementation of digitization methods. And to that end, we're going to need the creation of a digitization standardization sheets by those hired digitization specialists based on industry accepted practices in order to effectively conduct digitization. And we'll also need other tools to complete the strategic initiative, including scanners, printers, any software that's necessary on the computer in order to accomplish digitization tasks. For our second strategic initiative, we wanted to create objectives and goals that focus more on the academic library side of things. The first objective was to sustain staff processing levels. Now, our staff processing levels are one of the strengths of our academic library, and we wanted to support this by implementing the goal of officially implementing a processing policy that requires a certain amount of linear feet to be processed per year. Now, also a strength of our library is our university and local history collection. And our second objective within this strategic initiative is to improve this university and local history collection. Now, to do this, we're going to need the solicitation of artifacts from local trustees. So we will have librarians who call university benefactors and others to see if we can somehow work on acquiring different materials to improve this collection. This is our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats analysis. Now, I've touched on some of the strengths, like the college history and town history, but we also have strengths in manuscripts as well, involving a wide variety of topics, and our staff is also strength processing a large amount of linear feet of materials per year. Now, among our weaknesses are digitized materials. We still don't have a digitization department, and I briefly discussed this before. We're creating one, and we're implementing standards that will help them to succeed. Also among our weaknesses are 21st century ideals. As also mentioned, we want to implement maker spaces, 3D printers and scanners, and a wide variety of things to get interaction between the library and people. Now, among our opportunities, we need to capitalize on our strong physical collections. We can turn these into digitized collections, and then that can be turned into a strength for us. Also, the formation of an advanced digitization department, which we touched on before. Among the threats are the long-term loss of library patrons. If we don't successfully implement this digitization department, we have the possibility of losing library patrons, as they really have no method of quick engagement with the library. Another threat is getting lost in the mix in the age of Google, which basically relates to the lack of a digital presence within our library and the need to implement a digital presence going forward. We also have the possibility of a variety of limitations and conflicts. One of the biggest possibilities for this is the strain on available funds. Now, our library is through a university, and if there's any change in state funding or any other kind of funding to the university, there's a possibility that the library's budget can get cut, and that will greatly affect our plan. Another big conflict could be digitization specialists not meeting expectations. If they are simply not digitizing as much material as we want or not developing the standardization materials necessary, then we may have to adjust our plan going forward. And also disagreement among the planning team. If there's any disagreement between staying with just physical collections or moving into digitization for the future, we will have to address that as well going forward. Our future vision for the library is one that's looking forward into the 21st century. We want to attract potential students and professors by building a strong academic library. And we hope that this will eventually be a selling point for students that are deciding between universities. In addition, we want the library to be attractive for potential librarians and digitization specialists in order to attract top talent to our library to keep it moving forward. We also want to improve the use of library materials. We want more accessibility by making them available online and in the quickest methods possible so that people can conduct their research quickly and in a method that's more effective for them. And we also want to create revenue for digitized materials sent to patrons outside the college. Basically, we want to create usage fees and stuff of this nature to increase the budget and utilize those funds to improve other areas of the library going forward and possibly hire more staff.
During the creation of this project, we worked well together, really taking the time to listen to each other's ideas. Creating our strategic plan taught us both about the depth of information that goes into making one. If you'd like to learn more about the sources we use while creating our strategic plan and the research we found regarding, we hope you've enjoyed our presentation and thank you so much for watching. We look forward to your questions and discussion.